Hey, how's it going, everybody? Wacky Weirdo here. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, can't sleep, and for some reason, The Last of Us Part 2 is on my mind. I've been rewatching the cinematic trailers, the new gameplay trailer from E3, I've been reading up on the game, I've even been rewatching some videos on the first Last of Us. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? I'm just going to make a video talking about it. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, first bit of information I want to talk about is the fact that Neil Druckmann said that Ellie is the only playable character in the game. Now, I can 100% guarantee that's a lie, because he said the same thing during the promotion of the first Last of Us. Journalists were asking if Ellie was going to be playable in that game, and he said no, Joel is the only playable character. And we found out that was a lie when we actually played the game, because towards the end you have to play as Ellie. And he even admits that he lied to journalists in the grounded making of The Last of Us from February 2014 at 11 minutes and 50 seconds in.
We couldn't talk about it. In fact, in interviews we've been lying about it, saying you never play as Ellie because it was so important for that to be a surprise. Sorry, journalists.
So as you can see, he confirmed that he was lying about Ellie being playable. He wanted it to be a surprise, and he even apologized to the journalists, which I thought was funny. So yeah, I think it's going to be the same type of formula for part 2. You're probably going to be playing as 3 different characters, because in the first one you played as Joel's daughter, Joel, and Ellie. And I think in this one you're going to be playing as Joel, Ellie, and probably that mystery muscular lady from that cinematic trailer. Something else I want to talk about is the fact that Neil Druckmann confirms that the old man that Jesse was talking about in the new gameplay trailer was in fact Joel.
Well, first of all, you're assuming they're talking about Joel. It could be some other father figure that came in the 4 years. It's Joel. It's Joel. We're talking about Joel. It's Joel.
Alright, so that's confirmed. So we know that Joel is alive, at least in the beginning of the game when everything's all honky-dory at Tommy's community. But I still think that Joel isn't going to make it out of this game alive. I actually think he dies pretty early on. I think Tommy's community gets raided. I think it actually happens during that little party. Like not long after the end of that new gameplay video where Ellie has that big shit-eating grin on her face. I think like probably a minute or two after that is when an attack happens, and she's going to end up losing a lot of people that she cares about. The girl she kissed is going to be one of them. That's how she gets her bracelet. And I think Joel's going to end up being another one. And I think throughout the game, Joel is still going to be a part of the main game. But Ellie is going to see him as like a spirit guide, similar to the way Dexter sees his dad in the TV show. I don't know if you guys have seen the TV show Dexter, but his dead father will appear randomly to give him advice. And I think that same thing is going to happen in part 2. I think Joel's just going to appear randomly to give her advice. And it's going to suck. But I do think you are still going to play as Joel, probably towards the beginning. Like the attack is probably going to happen and you're going to take the role of Joel and you're going to kill off a bunch of people, but you're going to end up getting shot, and then it's going to switch to Ellie. And I don't know, some crazy shit's going to happen. I know Joel's going to die though. That's why in the 2016 cinematic trailer, he just appears like he does, like an angel from the heavens above in the doorway. And that's why when he appears in the doorway right here, he's trying to give her advice. Like I said, just like Dexter's dad tries to give him advice. You sure you want to do this? So yeah, it's almost a confirmation that poor Joel is going to die. But like I said, I hope we at least get to play as him before he does perish. Now, another reason I think that Joel's going to die is because of something that he says at the very end.
No matter what, you keep finding something to fight for. Now,
You keep finding something to fight for, which is very reminiscent of a line that Ellie's mother says in the letter in her book bag. It says, "Life is worth living, find your purpose and fight for it." Now, I think they did this on purpose. Her mom died and gave her this line about finding a purpose and fighting for it. And I think Joel's going to die because he says a similar line. So she's going to not only have her mother taken in this apocalypse, but she's also going to have the closest thing she's had to a real father taken from her. And it's really going to hit us in the feels. Something else I want to talk about is the fact that people still seem to think this is Anna, Ellie's mother. And I used to think that a little bit. I was like 50-50 on it. Until I seen the gameplay this year, and now I no longer think that's Anna at all. And the main reason is the cult. As you can see, the cult is the same exact one in the cinematic trailer as it is in the new gameplay. They got the same brown jacket, they carry around a knife that they use to gut people that are hanging with their hands tied behind their back, and they spew a bunch of religious mumbo-jumbo. Now, if this is Anna, that would mean this cult has been around for at least 20 years or more. And I just don't think that's the case. I mean, don't get me wrong. This cult could have started a year after the cordyceps outbreak, for all we know. But I just don't think that's what it is. I think at the most, this cult has been around maybe 4, 5, 6 years tops. So that would mean this is not Ellie's mother. But who could it be? It's got to be somebody important to the story, or else they wouldn't have had a whole cinematic trailer about her last year. So there's one of two people it could be. The first one, a stranger that Ellie comes across and saves, or either she comes across Ellie and saves her, and they end up having this bond, they become friends, then they end up becoming lovers, and she'll most likely die by the end of the game because it's The Last of Us. There are no happy endings. That's the one I'm pushing for. I'm about 90% positive that's what it is. She's just a stranger that Ellie's going to come across, and then they're going to become lovers. Now, the next one is something that few other people out there seem to think is the case, and that is Ellie's sister. And the main reason they think that is because of this random Last of Us American Daughters poster that was found in Uncharted 4. Just such an odd thing to find in Uncharted 4 that could give you key information for The Last of Us Part 2. But anyways, we see a woman standing here, pregnant, with a gas mask on, and it says The Last of Us American Daughters. It doesn't say American Daughter, which would be Ellie. It says Daughters. So, did Anna have another kid before Ellie? Maybe, but if you read the note that Anna gave Marlene to give to Ellie, I don't think she did have another kid before Ellie, because it says, "I'm not a big fan of kids and I hate babies." But she says, "I'm awestruck," and then she says, "Holding you is the most incredible thing I've done in my life." Now, if she had a kid before Ellie, wouldn't holding Ellie be the second most incredible thing she's done in her life? You get what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, I do not believe that this chick is Ellie's sister, just because of the note from Anna. But another thing that kind of makes people believe that maybe they are kin to one another is the posters, because they released this poster, which is Ellie's arm holding a knife, and then this poster, which is the random muscular lady holding the hammer. So that kind of ties in to make you believe, oh, maybe they are sisters. That's why it's showing their arms. That's why there's the American Daughters poster. I mean, there's all these different things it could be, man. Naughty Dog are so good at telling stories that no matter what type of information we piece together, we could be completely wrong. And I love it, man. But that's the fun of speculation. And yeah, you can see the wolf here. Now, if you rewatch the gameplay, you can actually hear the cult calling Ellie a wolf, which is kind of odd because you got the wolf here for the muscular lady's arm. There's no wolf for Ellie's arm. Ellie's is more serene with the beautiful moths flying. But yeah, maybe the cult calls certain people wolves. I don't know what that could infer to. Let's look something up right quick. Wolf meaning. Like, I know we're gonna get see, here we go. Metaphor to refer to a rapacious, ferocious, or ferocious person or thing. So that's what it can mean right there. I probably said all three of those words wrong because I've never ever seen those. Well, ferocious, I've seen that before. I've had to spell that back in school. But the other two, I ain't never heard of these words before at all. So if I said them wrong, you know, that's why. But yeah, I guess that's what it could mean. They're calling her a ferocious person because she's been killing all of their people, so they're like, it's a wolf, it's a wolf. That's the only thing I could think of. But yeah, like I said, I don't think it's her sister. I think it's just some stranger that she's going to come across and save, and they're going to have this bond, become lovers. She's going to die, yada yada yada. Could be the other way around though. The end of the game could be Ellie gets shot or something, and then you have to play the end of the game as the chick hanging to try and save her. But sadly, it's too late. Ellie ends up dying in your arms, and then it fades to black. And then you're like, well, shit. We just lost Joel, Ellie. Now we gotta play as some random muscular lady in part 3. What the fuck, Naughty Dog? But yeah, that's just a bunch of random information I wanted to talk about when it comes to The Last of Us Part 2. Hope you enjoyed the video. Did you agree with some of the stuff I said? Or do you think everything I said was hot garbage? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Motherfuckers!